presentation and approval of the minutes for April 9th, 2019, moved by Bob Benecki, seconded by Deborah Allen. Is there discussion on these minutes? Ready to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. It's approved. Presentation of an award from the Hampton Open Space to the district for the 2018 Supporter of the Year Award. Hampton Township's Restoration College's Josh Nelson.
Thank you for having me today. I'm here to recognize the Forest Preserve District of Kane County for their support of the Hampton Township Open Space Program by presenting the 2018 Supporter of the Year Award. Since our start in 2001, the Forest Preserve District has been one of our strongest allies in helping us grow our program from a small grassroots organization to the thriving community program it is today. Therefore, it is only fitting that in our first year presenting this award, we lead it off with the Forest Preserve District. As a small token of gratitude, a plaque will be hung in our Township Community Center recognizing your contribution. I'd like to call someone forward for a photo op here. Don't all jump at once.
They tell me what to do everything. All right, that'll go in the drawer. Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Glad to go ahead.
Thanks for coming out, Josh. We appreciate it.
Hello everybody, my name is Rob Cleve. I'm the volunteer coordinator with the Forest Preserve District of Kane County. I want to start by thanking you for having me and also for all the support that you've shown through the years, whether it's attending events or coming to our appreciation dinner. So volunteers are not paid not because they are worthless, but because they are priceless. And here in Kane County, with a large amount of land and a small staff to achieve our goals, our volunteers have taken on numerous roles that are so important in helping shape the preserves that we have today. So I'm going to be going over the 2018 kind of wrap up and talk about some of the highlights from last year. So I know this is a slide that's full of information, and I apologize for the small font, but with as many groups that we support and that come out to the Forest Preserve, this is just a small taste of the organizations. We work with schools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, almost all the colleges in Kane County. We work with countless businesses. Toyota has been a big supporter. We work with churches. We work with any group that's willing to come out and help improve the Forest Preserve. So if you have an organization that you think might be a good fit, please don't hesitate to reach out. I really enjoy expanding this list every year. So volunteer hours by group. So our natural resource volunteers had over 8,000 hours, which is over 1,000 hours more than last year. Our trails and recreation had over 3,500. Preservation partners, that's the Fabian Villa Museum as well as the Durant House, had 450. Our education programs had over 550 volunteer hours. Our Kane County Mounted Rangers on horseback gave us over 2,100 hours. Our Fabian Windmillers and docents had over 800 hours in 2018. And our snowmobile Safety Patrol had 82. It wasn't that snowy of a year, so they're a little limited. So just kind of a snapshot of where we're at. As of January 1st, we now have 703 formal volunteers. Those are folks who filled out an application and come through our orientation. With that in mind, we touched closer to about 3,500 people through our various events. We had 44 new volunteers come through orientations last year, which is, I believe, the highest in my tenure here over the last 9 years. And our volunteers contributed as aggregate 15,634 hours last year. What we do, I take that number and we look at, it's what's called a workforce contribution, and that would essentially be what we would have needed to pay a staff member to do that. That includes things like onboarding, benefits, and all the processes that go along with hiring. So the volunteers, if we had to pay for that 15,000 hours, would have been over $400,000 in workforce contribution here to the Forest Preserve. So I'm proud to say that that number has been going up by almost 10% here every year, which is fantastic. So just some kind of highlights. We actually just wrapped up our citizen science training. As you know, we have one full-time wildlife biologist, so we count on our volunteers to collect important information about species and plants. So all of these things, frogs, rare plants, odonates, which are dragonflies and damselflies, and butterflies. Those are all indicator species, and by getting a snapshot of how they're doing in the preserves, it gives us an idea of the overall health of our preserves. So those are important data that our volunteers collect. We have naturalist-led paddles through the Fox, June through October. I'd like to highlight our Hooked on Fishing program, which is a kids fishing derby. You're all invited. If you are anglers, you're welcome to help teach kids how to fish. That's going to be June 2nd, Sunday at Oakhurst. And then our second year, we'll be having our Monarchs and Milkweed Festival at Creek Bend on the 23rd of June. So those are just some of the neat programs that we're looking forward to here in the next month or so. And that is my presentation. Do anyone have any questions for me?
Yes, Drew?
I just remember when the workforce contribution used to be like 275, and now it's 406. It's really impressive.
Thank you. Well, and two, I would be remiss if I didn't mention, although I am a volunteer office of one person, the only way that these numbers have been able to grow has been a team effort in the Forest Preserve District, whether we're talking about operations, natural resources, the community affairs group, and what they do at our Creek Bend Nature Center. So our staff's willingness to continue to work with volunteers and to put them in and give them more responsibility has really allowed the program to continue to grow.
I think not only do volunteers do all this wonderful work, but there are ambassadors throughout the county. They support what they do and what we do. So we thank you for coordinating your efforts, and be careful. The IRS finds out this, we're probably going to get a bill and pay for this in the state. The state that they can tap in on this money. They stay in that. Then we wouldn't have smoke in our water. Yes, Dr. Silva.
You did that just to get to
Thank you, President Kenyon.
Thank you, sir. Or am I loud enough? Am I loud enough? Okay, thank you. I think this is an unfortunate question, Ron, but nonetheless, it's coming out of my district, so I would like your assistance in answering it. What would you say to someone who says that we shouldn't provide these programs because a lot of times we're overlapping with maybe the park district is wasteful taxpayer money? I happen to think that it's not, and I happen to think these are great programs, but what are your thoughts on it?
I think the main focus is the park districts. They do a great job, but they're really more recreationally focused. Almost all of our volunteer programs are more natural areas focused. We do a lot of, as you noticed, natural resources, had over 8,000 hours. So, the park districts don't necessarily do as much of the natural areas work that we do. And two, I'm happy to say, through our KCCN program, the Kane County Certified Naturalist, we actually work in concert with the St. Charles Park District and Geneva Park District. So instead of reinventing the wheel, I feel like a lot of the programs that we offer and they offer are actually complementary as opposed to actually competitive.
And we don't think these programs cost a lot?
No, they really, a lot of them, I've been very fortunate. We've gotten grant money through the Volunteer Stewardship Network, which helps pay for a lot of the tools, the chainsaws, the PPE and safety equipment. And so, yeah, no, the amount of money put in to get some of these programs off the ground has been very minimal compared to the impact that they've had on the district.
Thank you. That's pretty much what I said, but I wanted to make sure.
Okay. Any other questions? All right.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Next thing, we have a presentation approval of bills and commissioners per diem for April 2019. Mr. Leonard motion. This is Alan seconds. Is there discussion on this? Let's see if your favorite is a roll call vote.
Alan? Guerrero? Yes. Davis?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Boucher?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Cayos?
Yes.
Kobe? Leonard?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. Martin?
Yes.
Leah? Yes. Sanchez?
Yes.
Sheffield?
Yes.
Silva? Yes. Surges?
Yes.
Thomas? Yes. Weber?
Yes.
Wegman? Yes. Manning? Yes.
It's approved, thank you. Under bids and proposals, we have a resolution authorizing a contract with Pure for website redesign. Somebody like to move that? Mr. Caius moves, Mr. Doctor of all seconds. Does anybody need an explanation? We're going to update this how many-year-old website?
I think it's the same for
1892 to no. You want to explain that, or does everybody understand what we're doing? We got out of that, you see.
Right, thank you.
All right, we're ready to vote?
Allen? Aye. Guerrero? Yes. Davis?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Boucher?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Cayos?
Yes.
Kobe? Leonard?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. Martin?
Yes.
Lena?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Sheffield?
Yes.
Silva? Yes. Surges?
Yes.
Thomas? Yes. Weber?
Yes.
Wegman? Yes. Manning? Yes.
Stands approved. Number 2715, resolution authorizing a bid for paving at Chichi Knolls parking lot and drive within the Freeman Kane Forest Reserve. Barbara Mickey moves, Debbie Allen seconds. You want to discuss this? But, oh, okay. You got the contract. I think we had several bidders.
Sugar Asphalt Services?
I think that's out of right?
Yes. Yes.
Ready to vote?
Allen? Aye. Guerrero? Yes. Davis?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Boucher?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Cayos?
Yes.
Kobe?
Yes.
Leonard?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. Martin?
Yes.
Lena?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Sheffield?
Yes.
Silva? Yes. Surges?
Yes.
Thomas? Yes. Weber?
Yes.
Wegman? Yes. Manning? Yes.
It's approved. Number 2716, resolution authorizing the bid for paving the Foxford Trail for the east side of the Fabian Forest Reserve, moved by Mr. Ross, seconded by Mr. Weber. Is there discussion on that? This is another local contract, right? He was out of Geneva.
This is West Chicago.
West Chicago, that's close enough. Geneva. Ready to vote?
Allen? Aye. Guerrero? Yes. Davis?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Boucher?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Cayos?
Yes.
Kobe? Leonard? Lewis? Yes. Martin?
Yes.
Lena?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Sheffield?
Yes.
Silva? Yes. Surges?
Yes.
Thomas? Yes. Weber?
Yes.
Wegman? Yes. Manning? Yes.
Stands approved. 2717, resolution authorizing a bid for updated vegetation inventories. Somebody like to do Mr. Weber moves, Mr. Tice seconds. Is there discussion on this? Move ready to vote. 2014 use and license agreement with the Village of Pingree Grove and to ratify the terms of the 2014 agreement for the use of a portion of the Pingree Grove Forest. Somebody like to move this? I think Barbara would like to move it. Deborah Allen seconds. I guess I have to look at both sides of the room. Is there discussion on it? It's pretty deep. See the little picture there? Anyway, they don't have any real park area. They